Hello, everyone. Welcome to PTC-TV. I'm your host, McKenna Maduli, along with João Lima. What an incredible first day, right?
24 hours packed with a lot of information.
I know. Go over some of the things that you're really excited about today.
I think what we discussed yesterday about geopolitics, that really came around. First of all, let me say that there's been a huge turnout. I have not seen the center stage so packed with so many people. There were people standing at the back. I think PTC might need to add some extra chairs next year.
I love it. It's growing.
Standing. But it tells you this is a subject that's on everyone's minds. And then I think the willingness to openly talk about this, which is not something that we see in our industry, is quite interesting. It was also interesting to notice that Western panelists talk a lot more about it than Asian panelists. Asian panelists are much more interested in just getting on with the business. So that's very interesting. What I've also heard is that there seems to be a bit of an arms race when it comes to building digital infrastructure. So there's a few conversations going on in the backstage with a few governments on the Western side of the world to deploy as much Western infrastructure into a place like Asia in the event of something happening on that side of the world. And when we say the event of something happening, we're talking about wars with China and all those sort of things. So it's quite serious situations. I think the industry has finally opened up a bit more about what's happening in the backstage, which you never got there before.
A lot of conversation about that today.
Yeah. And then I think on the investment sides, I got a 50-50 kind of picture of things, because you speak to some investors and they're like, yeah, we are kind of taking a step back on emerging markets, or markets that no one has done anything. So the risk taking has decreased a little bit. But then you talk to others, well, like, yeah, no, we're going to go with it as long as the strategy is there, as long as we've got a robust business plan and we can still return, we'll still go for it. So I think it's a 50-50. I couldn't get a full picture of what's happening. But when you talk to the bigger investment houses, so the equities of the world, the digital bridges of the world, the I-squared capitals of the world, they have quite a positive, bullish view on how things will go. Yes, everyone is aware that something might happen, but everyone is preparing the contingency plans for what might happen, and hopefully nothing will happen in terms of a global full-out war. Beyond that, I mean, you had conversations around just interest rates are still a bit of a challenge, not as much as they were last year. Energy sustainability, huge topic. Access to power across any market, any jurisdiction. It's going to be a huge problem this year. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think for next year, what people are talking about is going to be regulations.
Wow.
So after we get through this year with all the elections, there's going to be a lot of conversation on how we're going to regulate the world. With all these leaders changing. So I think that's going to be quite interesting.
Big task.
But I also saw that you went somewhere very special. So there was the face-off competition between 3 companies. Startups, the first time at PTC.
The first time as the inaugural event, it was a lot of fun where CEOs got in front of other CEOs and were able to do their best business plans. It was high energy, super interactive, and the winner was Robert Davidson, CEO of Carbon Technologies, and it was just a great kickoff there at the top of bar. So congratulations to everyone who entered, because it was fun.
And actually, I didn't know they wouldn't, to be honest, because I didn't attend because I was doing something else. But I've spoken a lot to Carbon Technologies over the last few months, and what they're doing and what they're going to do. It's going to be quite interesting. And they have new ventures launching within that business. So it's going to be very interesting to watch that company in the second half of this year.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to share with you tomorrow what else is going to happen in the corridors. There's a lot more interviews, a lot more conversations on the sidelines. So it's going to be a very interesting day with a big focus on non-data center businesses. So very interesting. So we will be back tomorrow with more highlights. In the meantime, enjoy PTC'24. Mahalo.
Aloha.